pretend we're in the after show.
Okay, cool.
Listen here.
I'm getting the bubbly.
Oh,
We got it.
oh, Derek's getting a bubbly.
I didn't know what he
bubbly.
meant for a second. I was like, what?
What is a
Champagne.
bubbly?
It
Is that
sounded like
a-
that scene in Hook. Bring me my bubbly.
Is that a seltzer water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Target. They got those at Target.
My kids call them bubble waters,
Oh, that's cute.
and they go, "Daddy, you want a bubble water?" And I go, "Okay, thank you, my kids."
They don't like them because it's like.
No, they don't like them.
Why is it like fizzy?
Yeah, they thought it was soda at first. I'm like, "You can try it," and
It
then they
ain't
did.
soda.
They didn't like it.
It's like adult soda.
Yeah.
Worse.
Well, worse, you say?
Regular soda is adult soda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we all drank that
Yeah.
as kids.
Yeah,
and
I don't drink that
We
anymore.
all drank that as kids. Then
I
we
didn't
grew
drink
up. We
soda as a
became health.
kid.
You didn't drink sodas as kids?
No?
I drank a soda as kids, but I stopped drinking fizzy drinks and just drink regular water when I'm 13.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I drink
like the carbonation.
I get it.
I
dig
love
that.
it.
Yeah.
I like straight up soda water. If you've ever had just
I like that too.
soda water,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's the
really
same.
refreshing. It also helps you not eat as much because
I mean, I used to show up on this podcast with a fucking double gulp.
Yeah, you
from
had Dr. Pepper a lot.
AM PM like every Sunday, every.
Yeah.
You know what?
Every
I,
podcast.
I thought about when we were
Love soda.
doing the version 1 recap.
Yeah.
Just looking at them. I used to have that gigantic thing of Hawaiian Punch, one a day of Hawaiian Punch.
Really?
So much of it. It's like,
So
what
much
the?
sugar.
I used to go to like 7-Eleven. It was like 60 cents to fill that thing up. So I would do
Yeah.
it. What the fuck,
In-
dude?
That's
In
why I
tw-
say it was kid. We were kids and we drank so much soda.
In 2010, yeah, I really, soda at my house was kind of like, that was like a treat.
Really?
Like, it would be like, hey, you know, it's been a couple months or like, you got good grades at school. You know what? Pick like a junk foodie kind of thing. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, let's get vanilla Coke. All right.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
and then we would have that. But then once we finished it, we didn't really stock it that
Stock
much. But same with like sugary cereal. That was the thing that was like, okay, you can have that as like a treat, you know, but it wasn't like a regular
It was
thing.
always, well, my mom always made us get Honey Nut Cheerios. That was the only cereal we could have.
Yeah,
And
same
so
here. Same here.
I fucking figured out, like, wait, let's see how much sugar's in this. And I looked, and I would look at all the other cereal I wanted. It's like, yo, Mom, this is less sugar than Honey Nut Cheerios, so why can't I have
Yeah.
this? And then I got her. She's like, well, okay, I guess we can have this instead.
With
funny.
my family, it was that you know, certain things had a lot of sugar, but there were certain cereals that had certain types of preservatives that there are certain cereals that didn't have it.
Okay.
And there's I don't know, it was like a lot of shit that like spooked my family. Like
Preservatives
they would read
stuff.
stuff that's like, yeah, there's like heavy preservatives in like all of them except like these few.
Wow.
And so I would just have the like, yeah, it was like like regular Cheerios.
Yeah.
Like I really didn't have anything that exciting. And then it was like every couple of months, it's like, hey, you know what? You got good grades on this thing. Pick whatever cereal you want and pick whatever. You know, it was more as a like
Yeah, and that's
quarterly
why for me to this day, and it's lame, and I get made fun of a lot for it. But like, I will only have Captain Crunch on Christmas because that was the one day where it's like you can have this cereal.
Yeah.
And so to me, that taste is forever
so funny.
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's Christmas
Very-
Day. I'm gonna have Captain Crunch.
Christmas crunch.
I
Christmas crunch,
was extremely overweight as a kid and never even realized until I was an adult how fucked up my nutrition was. I don't even think my mom knew anything about nutrition.
yeah.
I don't think anybody in my family knew anything about
But
nutrition.
things have changed over time a lot.
I think
too,
they were
but-
fucking clueless. And I think back to what I was eating on a daily basis, and it was like, yeah, no wonder I was extremely overweight. I mean, I was like 250 pounds as a 15-year-old kid,
Yeah.
which is pretty big.
Yeah.
And a BMI of like 24%, which meant like 1/4 of my body was fat.
Wow.
And I was having like 4 microwave burritos a day, 2 ramens, maybe a drumstick like ice cream thing, a bunch of soda, frozen Capri Suns. There was just like no concept back then, for my
Right.
family at least, of what we were consuming.
Yeah.
My mom even like, bless her heart, I don't want to throw my mom under the bus, but I don't even
No.
think she knew how to be healthy, because she would be like, well, we're going to eat rice tonight because I'm going to make rice with dinner because rice is healthy, and just give me like so many carbs on
Right.
top of
yeah.
then whatever else, right. I don't even remember, but it wasn't like a finely tuned and balanced meal as it should have been. And you guys talk about like sugary cereals and soda. I had that as much as I wanted,
Yeah.
like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs,
Lucky Charms.
Fruity Pebbles, Lucky Charms, Chex Mix,
It's Reese's.
Dr. Pepper, root
For
beer,
breakfast.
Diet Coke. You know, my mom would be like, "Oh, you can't have soda except for Diet Coke. Have as much as you want."
Oh my
Which, like,
God.
you know, like we
Yeah.
just didn't know.
Right.
So even like now, it's still trying to unprogram myself from all that
Yeah.
my whole lifetime
Oh,
of
yeah.
just like
Well, and
bad
also,
information.
It's hard because the easiest stuff to make, especially for a kid, is those microwave burritos or those like instant pizza things or Hot Pockets. And it's like that. Yeah, that's not good for you. But like
Yeah.
most of the time, my dad was working super late. My mom was also working. So we just get home and be like, well, we're going to feed ourselves. We're not going to be with
Bagel
our parents
bites,
for another
man.
4 hours. I guess I'll make some food. But it's always, the worst shit
But
ever.
Yeah, and a big thing was like I was convinced things were healthy that weren't. Do you remember Kudos bars?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to think Kudos
Yeah.
bars were like, oh, I don't want to have an unhealthy snack. I'll eat a Kudos bar. It's like a fucking candy bar.
fucking-
Yeah,
Snickers.
my grandma, because my grandma on my dad's side lived real close to us. I went over there like after school, like not every day, but a lot, because we just went over there and we'd just hang out there and sometimes my grandma was way into Snackwells in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh,
With-
yeah.
oh yeah, look, it's all low fat. It's all low fat. Yeah, cool. I mean, more sugar than you can imagine. It was like
Right.
these are cookies. Like
Exactly.
And
There
so
was a
yeah,
big-
there was a lot of
thing
stuff that people thought
About
were
the fat
yeah
back then. But yeah, sugar was not an issue.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Let me tell you, I found I went to a Army surplus store and got some handbooks on like hand-to-hand combat and survival and fitness. And this
Yeah.
one written in the 50s will tell you like cut back on your sugar because it's like the main contributor to being overweight and going over your calorie intake. So they knew in the 50s that sugar was bad for you, but they purposely, try to confuse you.
Yeah.
Big sugar.
They try to confuse you on these food companies.
I think for me, because when I brought up all these like health things that my parents did,
Yeah.
there's people I totally understand it, making jokes about like then why are you big? Like why are you always big? I always was big. I really think for me it was we limited stuff on a day-to-day basis, which was great. But I just think back like all I had was carbs. Oh my God. Just being Italian, it was constant pasta, constant bread. I had that like
Every meal.
Every meal.
Yeah.
But that aside, and I don't want to be this guy. It's going to sound like I am. There's always that person. Oh, I'm just big boned. I'm just big. I'm not going to play that card.
Okay.
But as a baby, I was born. They had to cut me out, and I was over 12 pounds.
Jeez.
Oh my!
I was a
my God.
giant thing.
Wow.
And so it was
Big dog.
not exactly in my favor from the beginning, but I was I just think back and it's like that's all I had.
You busted
was
onto the scene
Carbs. I was a huge fucking kid.
like a boss.
And then all I had was that's all I had constantly. So I think it was that. I think my parents did good with the sugar situation, and
Yeah.
even to this day, I really don't have a sweet tooth.
That's where I get.
I love
got.
sweets. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you're offering me sweets. I want them, but I can resist them. I don't. You know what I mean? But man, if you got like fucking pizza here, oh shit, I don't know how I'm fighting that.
Yeah.
I want that kind of stuff.
Do you remember back in the 90s when McDonald's had this thing for like Mondays it was like 29-cent hamburgers and then
Yeah.
Wednesdays it was 39-cent cheeseburgers?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
My mom would go to the drive-thru and buy like 30 of them.
Yeah,
And then just put
yeah.
them in our freezer. And when we got home from school we would just thaw them out and eat these gross fucking cheeseburgers.
Melt in your mouth.
Yeah, but like
Soy.
I mean, thinking back now, I was like, "That's fucking gnarly."
Me and
that
my
I
I
hockey
was
really
doing
team.
wonder too
We did that shit.
because you were always like a skinny kid,
Yeah,
but you're talking about eating a fuck ton of McDonald's
Dude, same here.
cheeseburgers.
yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like your diet wasn't much different from my diet, and I was like 4
Yeah.
times as big as
Well,
you were.
I will say that is. I'm not sure. I think metabolism that genes has
Metabolism
a
and
thing
our
that plays
genes
into
have so much to do with it.
But I will also say that like because of the headaches that I got, I would get migraines. I still do, but like
Yeah.
as a child, I was like 6 and getting migraines. That they put me in this really restrictive diet. So like I woke up and my breakfast was broccoli, and like it was just like I had to eat so
Now we can
well.
add rice.
So I think I did eat healthy a lot of the time because I had to, because I was on this strict diet. I also had to take these. At one point, I had 16 different vitamin pills that I would have to take a day because they didn't know what was wrong with me.
Damn.
So but this is also not something to brag about. But as a kid, I got to the point I had to do it twice a day that I could take all 16 on one gulp. Like I was just so good at taking pills because I had to so much.
Damn, man.
Yeah. But anyways, I mean,
This guy's got the biggest throat.
Widest
You
throat.
wouldn't believe it.
My
16
fucking
pills
throat,
in
dude.
one gulp. That's got to be a Guinness World
That's a
Record.
big
so
gulp.
many. Yeah.
But I will say, like, despite I have my theories on the thing why I was a bigger kid and all that, but I will tell you, I still ate so much better than everyone else I went to school with, and they were all skinny. Like it was like defeating sometimes in school, where it was like I went to the doctor and he was like, "You have to lose weight. Like you don't want to be this big of a kid." It's like, yeah, that's true. And I would really try to be as nutritious as possible. And all my friends ate pizza and Coke every day. They would bring home from it was like leftover Pizza Hut and 2
I feel you,
Pepsis
man.
Yeah.
every
you.
day. And it was like,
Yeah.
I don't understand how you guys are doing this.
It really is
I
genetic.
just couldn't
but
do
then,
it.
Again, Rocco, like I have the world's worst teeth. Like I brush and floss so many times a day. I mouthwash so many times. I will get a cavity. It does not matter.
Yeah.
I have teeth rotting out of my head because I just have the genes. My genes, I have fucking terrible teeth.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. Like it's just
Yeah, no,
really-
I've never had any.
right. So I think
dental
everyone
issues.
has their own genes that fuck them in a certain way.
Yeah.
There's some golden ponies out there that are just perfect, though.
Is that you?
You got
Says
some golden.
Garrett.
No, some Gwyneth Paltrow's and shit. Not me.
No, they pay for that.
I don't know, man.
I think
Genetics
Gwyneth
has so much to
Paltrow's
do with it,
fucked
though,
up
because
teeth.
Yeah.
What's that?
She just can fix
What?
it.
She could have cavities. You
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
Everybody's got something wrong with them.
But I'm that kid that you guys were talking about. Like I could eat terrible constantly. I would go over to my grandparents' house and have like 4 sodas.
Yeah.
And like throughout high school, I had soda and Little Debbie snacks as a lunch for
Yeah.
4 years, and I constantly ate. Like you've seen my appetite too; it's massive.
How was it? Let me ask you something. Did you like vegetables as a kid? Because
Yeah,
I know
no.
you eat seafood, you eat vegetables
I
as
like
an adult
everything.
pretty easily.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
like
least
vegetables as a kid.
pickiest.
I
eater.
didn't care.
I'll be real. When I was a kid, there was no way I was eating vegetables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do fucking James Bond villain shit
Yeah.
to make sure I wasn't eating any vegetables. Like my
Yeah.
parents had no idea the fucking Rube Goldberg machines I would come up with to
Yeah,
get those
same here.
vegetables off my plate.
Yeah.
Give the dog.
And that, I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure that's why I turned out the way I was. I must have been replacing those calories with bad stuff.
I wonder if that's a thing. Because,
Yeah.
my parents and my grandparents always talk about how they were amazed, even as a toddler, that I would eat raw vegetables like carrot sticks and celery. And
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
just love.
Because what I'm hearing from you and
All
Sean is
foods.
like we ate like shit, but for Sean, I was forced to eat a bunch of vegetables, and Garrett, I had no problem eating that.
Like I ate like shit, but it was also balanced. I just ate everything.
Right.
Yeah,
sure.
for me, I was really overweight, and it was like I would avoid. I never felt like I was eating a lot or eating too much, but everything I was eating was like stuff that tasted really good.
Yeah.
And that was the big motivator for all of my meals. What tastes good?
Yeah, my family always, every dinner we had some vegetable with it. Like you got to eat this.
Yeah, and I feel bad because a lot of the dinners I've been making lately, I don't have a vegetable to go with it. And I same way, Rocco. I always as a kid, but a lot of times now I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to the store to get vegetable.
Yeah.
I guess we're not gonna skip that tonight. And I feel guilty, but
Yeah.
I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, well, I didn't like. I don't think any of them. Like they all grossed me out. But I think, and it's funny. Years later, I remember talking to my mom, and she was like, I think back and I feel like she's like, I'm glad I always had vegetables with, you know, when I would make you guys dinner, but I just kind of would put the minimum into it. And I don't think that helped. Like broccoli broccoli was like, oh my God, I'd rather die than eat this.
Yeah.
But then I got older and like I had friends that were like, oh, this they have broccoli here that's really good. I'm like, what are you talking about? Broccoli's disgusting. And it's like, try it here. And I went to this LA restaurant where they made like sriracha broccoli and it was like the best thing I've ever eaten.
broccoli
and it's
rules.
like, oh, if you like do something to it, it's good. But
flavor it.
Yeah, my parents didn't really do that. They would just like, yo, no, eat it. Like, you got to eat it.
Whenever-
And I'm glad I did, but
Oh,
it didn't give me a bond with vegetables.
My grandma used to just boil carrots and give us that. Nothing on it. Just boiled
No salt and
carrots.
pepper?
No. Just
Fuck.
boiled carrots.
That you got to
and it was
pepper.
miserable.
I think back because I
yeah.
get so many recipes from the internet, and how the fuck did people cook before the internet?
I don't know.
My parents had a lot of
would cook
cookbooks.
dog shit. Like
Yeah.
the food they made was so bland and flavorless, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know, I'm whipping up 5-star stuff compared to them. I cook stuff for my
Yeah.
parents sometimes. Like, how did you learn how to make this? It's like, I Googled it. It took
Yeah,
10 minutes.
I got
to-
the Tasty app. and
Somebody
I
told me
just
to put
did
some
it.
salt in it.
Right. Yeah.
I've found versions of all these vegetables that I like now. You know, like make broccoli this way instead of, you know, that
yeah,
plain
yeah.
ass way.
Brussels sprouts
And
were
it's
always
good.
the hardest one.
Brussels sprouts as a kid, my God, I would
Yeah.
rather die. But
Now.
man,
I love them now.
roasted
they're the best.
Brussels sprouts, fantastic.
Yeah.
They're great. The one vegetable for me, I don't know what it is in any. No, I shouldn't say any form, but I don't know why fucking carrots. I can't eat them. I eat them, and it's like
carrots.
it's like I go
don't eat
into
'em.
it's like a DEFCON 3 in the back of my brain, and I want to throw up. I don't
Maybe
know what
you
it
shouldn't
is,
eat 'em.
but like I have, but like the spicy carrots at like a Mexican food place,
Yeah.
those are good.
Okay.
Vinegar
But a
tastes-
regular ass carrot.
Okay.
What's the problem with a regular ass
Crunch-
carrot?
yeah, you can't crunch
I
into
bite
it?
into it and it God.
Oh my
It's
God.
it's like a banana and Sprite.
What
It's
about-
like triggers something.
What about like with ranch? Carrot
Yeah,
ranch.
carrot with ranch.
Oh man, you really gotta take a lot of ranch.
A lot of blue cheese.
Yeah.
That's how they do it at the chicken wing place. Blue cheese.
There's a ton of vegetables I think are gross.
I think peas I've never come around on. I don't like peas.
they're fine.
In
No,
fact-
I dig peas.
I'll be
Really
honest.
into 'em.
There's maybe like 5 vegetables that I like, and I'm good. You know, I got my 5 vegetables. That'll keep me going through life.
Yeah.
Broccoli, spinach,
Yeah, spinach.
onions,
I'm
peppers.
so down with spinach.
Peppers, yeah.
tomatoes,
Mushrooms for
corn.
me.
That's about it for me.
I like them all. I honestly all but peas. I'm not into it, but olives.
I'll do
Fuck
anything.
olives.
I don't even care. Water chestnut, red beets. Give me
Water
the weird
chestnut.
shit.
Ooh, that's a good shit. Damn, you're getting,
I love like
bringing out the greatest hits over there.
jicama. I love
jicama?
avocados.
Dude, there's a taco place down the street from here.
Oh, they do
that give
jicama?
you jicama with salsa.
That's
Holy
the wrong way.
shit!
Wow.
it is so good.
Somebody mentioned peas and potatoes. Yo, dude, they do that in Harry Potter land or whatever.
Yeah.
In Universal,
They
I get
serve that?
I get that bangers and mash there.
Oh,
In the what do they call it? The Tavern of Little Wizards or whatever. I don't know.
Three
But-
cauldrons.
Molly
But anyway, yeah,
McGonagall's,
3 cauldrons.
magic. Mung.
69 cauldrons, whatever.
Something.
But they have bangers and mash, and then
The
the
Snick's
potatoes.
bunghole.
They got a side of peas with it. Oh my god, put all that
You mix
together.
it?
Delicious.
I don't like mixing the food.
Uh,
Technically.
Oh, I'll mix
I
it
don't
up.
always.
Don't put my peas in my potatoes.
Oh,
Fuck
see, I don't
that.
care about that.
I'm with you on that, Aaron.
I want it separate.
If I get a plate, I purposely mix everything together.
Ew, you
and
sicko.
eat it.
Fuck.
And eat it that way.
Did you guys have to crush a tall glass of milk with every dinner?
Yes.
Oh, I had
my
parents
parents
made
made me do
bro.
that.
Bro, the milk
every
is so
single
thick.
dinner.
You put your vegetables into the glass, and nobody can see
Oh
that
my
they're in there.
God, that is James Bond level shit.
I-
Wash your own dishes, huh?
I'll clear my milk. I'm
Hey,
a good
I'm
kid.
done. I'm going to take this to the sink now. My parents are watching TV for the past 20 minutes because I've been sitting there not eating my vegetables.
I had to crush a tall glass of milk every dinner.
Wow.
Even I remember going over to friends' houses and it was like, "Oh, your parents do this too? It sucks."
Yeah, my
Dude.
parents did that.
Hey,
Yeah.
got out of that one being lactose intolerant. That
Oh,
was
you
never a
lucky
problem for
fuck.
me.
Yeah, because no one cares if you didn't finish your glass
But I
of
would be at a
water.
friend's house and I would get my glass of water and then I'd have to wait for them to finish their milk. So
So you remember our pain.
I remember your pain.
have
I
to do
witnessed
that?
it.
What?
Full glass of milk.
Oh yeah, no, I had that with every
Every meal.
dinner my entire childhood.
Same here.
Was
So I was like 15.
I feel like that is the thing that is generational and no kid does that anymore.
What?
Has to
Yeah.
drink a glass of milk with dinner. That was something
Yeah, I
that
don't
they
really
thought
see
that was
it.
good for you in the 80s, early 90s, and now that is over.
Well, yeah. Then everyone's daughters was going through puberty at like 13.
Isn't
that what you-
isn't that
They're all
normal?
a fucking
Isn't that-
testosterone.
Wait,
in the
as,
Oh, yeah,
opposed
yeah,
as
sorry.
opposed to 34.
You're right. That is normal. No, wasn't that a thing where like hormones in the
Well, they say,
homogenized
like, the
milk,
chicken nuggets in the milk. I don't know.
and it was like, yeah, I think there's
Garrett's
some causal link.
in 8th grade looking around at all the 13-year-olds being like, what the
You guys
fuck
drinking milk
is going
too?
on around here? You guys drinking a lot of milk or what? 'Cause,
happening?
we left it summer and something was different.
I'm looking down. There's no hair. I'm drinking milk every day. I don't know what's going wrong.
Oh, what?
Too many shoulders. I can't be concentrating in class.
Is the spaghetti strap still devilishly seductive?
Yeah, I don't know. Is the worst thing in high school spaghetti straps or wearing headgear? Because that
I
certainly
still
was.
am
Yeah, no
afraid
hats, no berets.
of any girl wearing a spaghetti strap around me
No
because I just might
headbands.
ejaculate so hard at the
If I
sight
see
of
a
a spaghetti
shoulder-
strap.
I remember them
I'll lose
having
it.
those. They did not. Okay, so like the wardrobe rules that they would have at school.
Yeah,
My junior high did not have any.
really.
There wasn't. I mean, there was a whatever, I guess, common sense stuff, but nothing strict. And then in high school, they had strict rules.
Yeah.
No spaghetti straps, no midriffs, no whatever. But my junior high didn't have that. So when I went to high school, then that was all like enforced. It was like, yo, I already survived this. Like,
We saw it.
yeah, like I remember going to high school like, just let girls wear whatever.
That is something.
I've been through the worst and I've survived.
Yeah, what do they think that bra straps are gonna do?
Like,
who fucking cares?
It's I guess you're a young boy. You're hormonal. You're distracted. That's fine. But I already did that for
But
2 years.
Are you though?
but
I
a
already
bra
did-
strap
Are
is
you
never,
hormonal and
who cares?
distracted at
Oh
a
my
bra
God.
strap? Like,
What is it now? The chat was kind of blowing up with yoga pants, and that kind of makes sense for the
Yeah, I
you know
guess.
an updated problem. We haven't been in high school in 20 years. It's probably like yoga
But
pants. are a
I don't
big
know.
thing
I
now.
did that like junior high. It was already like whatever, and then high school it was like now there's rules. It was like I think everything went fine. I don't think we need
it's
that.
the pants are the issue. It's not that guys are staring at your ass. It's the pants that you're wearing. Change your pants.
yes,
Problem fucking solved.
Yes, Brian.
Oh, I was gonna ask. Like, I mean, I remember getting rules of what we were and weren't allowed to wear. Do you have like updated rules for like
With
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids,
As
a
it's
parent.
the same. It's like
Really, it's the same stuff.
you have to stand. I'm gonna stand up
like
here.
skirts at the knee.
You have to stand, and if your shorts are like shorter than where your hand goes, your fingers go, then you have to go put on your PE clothes. I don't remember. I think that's all.
Shoulders.
You can't have like your belly showing, like no stomachs showing.
Okay. How about headgear? That was a big
Hats,
thing.
I think, are fine.
Because
Not in class though.
In my high school, it was like absolutely no hats,
Yeah, that
no
was how
bandanas,
it was for us.
no headbands, like no headgear of any kind.
Yeah.
Girls could wear a scrunchie,
it
and
was
it
just-
couldn't be red or blue or something like
I
that.
don't
They were
know,
so
like,
fucking worried about gangs.
It didn't bother me that anyone was dressed like that. It was like cool.
There was a girl
Yeah, it
in
was
middle
fine.
school who used to lay her heads on guys' laps to see if they would get a boner.
That's a
I
cool
remember
Where?
that happening in middle school.
In middle school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Thought
she
it was
would just
thought it was
listen.
someone we knew in
She
high
would
school.
just
or
like
something.
be
would
hanging on the
listen?
bench, and she would just like lay down on their lap to see what would happen.
Derek, let me lay my head
That
on
was
your
a thing
lap.
that she used to do.
there-
Everyone's
Garrett,
like,
you can lay
"Yo,
on my
watch
lap
out for
if
her.
you
She
want
was
to
trying
get
slip her head in her lap."
There was-
impaled.
I want to listen. I want to listen.
I
and
might
see.
brain you.
We're listening for a train to come.
I want to listen. See, here it comes.
Oh, the Amtrak's coming down the line.
Don't let her do that because she's trying to look for boners.
No,
That's
there
what
was
people on the
there
playground
was
said.
definitely
brain
someone
me.
who would do that to me in high school.
Oh my god.
They were constantly sitting on me, and I was
Oh.
like,
Trying to see.
I
if-
didn't get it for a while, and then I was like, oh, I think I know.
Oh,
what you're
you poor
doing here.
guy. You poor
I
boy.
was wondering if we were thinking about the same
This
person.
girl was sitting
this-
on you in high
trying to
school,
take
trying to
advantage.
give you a boner, and
I don't think this
you're
girl
just trying to
ended up
mind
going
your
to our high
business.
school.
Okay.
Why are you sitting on me again? Again.
Oh, I think they
Of
just
me.
thought it was funny or something. But I remember.
That's what you
Do
know.
you think of me as a chair? I don't know what is.
but hey.
this chair is occupied, miss. Once again, I hate to tell you.
But you know, you guys have known me for
Yeah.
many years now.
I do.
and you
That's
know
true.
that Derek, I've told you this, and there's been situations where someone tries to out awkward me,
Yeah,
they don't
fucked.
win.
No.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so I think that's how it was. It's like I think this girl thought it was funny, and it's like I wouldn't react to it. It's like I don't know. You're the one sitting here. What do you? I don't know. Like I just would be like.
Yeah.
I really
I'm the one
think that
getting
they
the lap
thought that
dance.
would be funny, and it just was more like, no, this is just kind of weird.
And the answer is yes, it was weird. Don't do that.
Did you get a boner though?
A gentleman does not discuss boners.
Jesus, man, some things you don't reveal.
Yeah. So the DC thing happened.
Oh, you teased that. That's right. What's this new Batman film called?
The
The
Batman.
Batman.
Okay.
I'm
and they-
loving this new trend of like just
Reducing?
put the in front of something.
like
Yeah.
reductionary.
the Predator.
yeah.
The
Fast and Furious.
The RoboCop. Has that happened yet? The
It
Total
will.
Recall.
It will.
With Fast and Furious, there's a version of it with and without the.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, choose your poison.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah.
did you
so
see
they-
the trailer, Garrett? It had
Yes.
Nirvana in it.
I did, and I was annoyed that it had Nirvana.
I saw it
in
and I thought Garrett's not gonna like this.
I thought, well, all right, Courtney's getting paid. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Dave Grohl and Chris, everyone's getting paid.
Sure.
But there's this like very slowed down remix. It's Chopped and Screwed, some Nirvana song.
what are we talking about?
The
In the
trailer for the
Batman
new Batman.
trailer,
The
Oh, that
Batman.
had
with the
that was a
Batman?
Nirvana song?
That's a
Yeah.
Chopped and Screwed, slowed down Batman song.
I didn't even
Called
realize
Something
that.
in the Way, which is already a super
Something in
slowed
the Way.
down B-side off Nevermind.
Oh,
But it was
I didn't know
even even more manipulated for this trailer, and it fit the mood well, but it reminded me of like, here's this moody thing set to music, like that Gears 3 trailer that was set to that one song everyone likes. But I don't know, like a younger cast as these characters seems interesting. I thought it was interesting. I didn't really know they took the role away from Ben Affleck. Like he got like basically 2 shots.
I thought he's in the next Suicide Squad as
Suicide-
Batman, or
'cause-
Justice League, or the Flash movie, or some
No,
shit that they
he's in the
announced.
Flash movie.
The Flash movie.
Oh, so he's still around
Yeah,
as
yeah, I think they're still maybe doing. I really don't know. Stuff with the DC universe.
Okay.
Where that's what Ben Affleck is part of.
and this new
This is a
Batman.
standalone like fucking Joker.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Pattinson and who's that guy from Looper that plays Riddler?
Oh, I don't know.
Is he?
It's
in
that-
the- oh,
it's that
is
wacky
that guy?
dude.
Yeah, Dano.
Paul Dano, yeah.
That guy's awesome.
Paul Dano?
I like that
He's
guy.
gonna be Riddler.
He was. Wasn't he also in There Will Be Blood?
Yes.
He was.
Yeah, he's the fucking priest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, as memorable performance as Daniel Day-Lewis, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah, he's
just
great in that
fucking
movie.
incredible. Paul Dano.
Huh. I didn't realize that he was.
He's gonna be the Riddler, Sean.
That's interesting.
Edward Enigma.
Yeah.
But
go
we were.
ahead.
It's funny. We were talking about it. So I saw the trailer, and I don't think there's anything. I don't know if anybody else.
I saw it.
I saw it.
actually
Did
saw it,
everyone?
watched it
Derek,
through.
did you see it?
No. I turned it on, but then I turned it off, so I didn't see it.
Like nothing looked bad in it. Like it looked fine. Like
Yeah.
the cinematography looked good, and the Robert Pattinson looked cool as Batman. I thought it was
Sure.
fine.
A lot of Batmobile.
But we were just talking about it yesterday, though. That I'm just like, it's funny. I love Batman. I think we all do.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they can do that makes me like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, new Batman. Like, I just feel like spent on that. Like, I feel like the last ones that came out are still like not out of culture.
The Nolan ones.
Yeah.
True.
I'm just
That's
still
where I'm
kind of
at.
like, all right.
It does seem like
I don't
they're
know. I'm not-
recycling Batman faster and faster with every iteration.
Yeah.
From Tim Burton to Christopher Nolan to whatever came after that to where
Yeah.
we are now.
I saw this and I thought to myself, like, I'm not excited to see this movie,
Same.
but if I find myself and I'm bored on a night and someone's like, "Want to see that Batman movie?" I go, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like adamantly against it.
Hey,
I just don't care.
If I hear it's great, I'm absolutely going to
Sure.
see it. It look good. What they've shown, I think is cool. I just don't know what's going to be the hook of this one.
Right. Because it
I'm
looked
like,
it looked competent. It looked like this is a finished, AAA looking film.
Yeah.
It looks done. But like Suicide Squad or like Joker or like the Harley Quinn, whatever, the last 4 that I enjoyed from DC,
Yeah.
I wasn't excited to see any of them. But in the end, it was like, okay, those were not terrible. And I kind of feel the same way about this. Is like when it comes around, I'll check it
The
out.
irony that you said it looks done is hilarious because they filmed 1/4 of the movie.
Oh, it's really not
it
finished?
stopped.
Oh, because of
And
because
so
of
that
the
trailer
pandemic.
was from 1/4 of the movie.
Wow.
Like that's what they got together from 1/4 of the movie. So I don't know. People are saying like this one's more of a detective thing. Maybe that'll be cool. I guess that's what I'm looking for is like, what's the hook of this time around? Because, you had the Batman movies when they showed up in the late 80s, the Tim Burton ones, whatever.
right.
That it was like, oh, this was something that was so colorful and goofy in the 60s. Oh, but now this is kind of a gothic take on it. Okay, cool. But it was still a cartoon,
Yeah.
And then when Batman Begins came around, it was like, oh, you're doing this like, what if it really happened? Okay, that's an interesting hook. I guess I'm wondering what the hook of this one is. They announced like, oh, he's going to go against the Riddler. I'm like, all right.
You don't care. And the Penguin.
Okay, I wonder what the hook is. If it's going to be a detective story, and that I don't know, maybe that could be cool. I'm just
think
wondering. I don't know.
I think that's where they're going with this. I think they're going back to like, they figured out that trying to adapt a Batman story to make it into a movie always loses something unless you make it a completely its own thing like Nolan did.
Yeah.
They want to make the movies like the comic books. This is now the flagship. So that's why I think they're rebooting with this version. And I think it's really going to follow the original stories of Batman where it's like, yeah, he went against like a villain each week and they had a riddle or some sort of mystery or something to solve. Like like what we liked about Batman the Animated Series, how there was a little bit of, oh, wait, who is doing this? What is going on? That's part of Batman. It's supposed to be fun detective stories where you're not just watching Batman beat people up all the time or look badass.
Yeah, villain of the week.
He's a smart guy who is very capable and does really cool shit. That's what I'd like to see out of this Batman, but at the same time, I'm with you guys. Like, I don't need to see this. Cool. I hope it's.
Yeah,
I
get.
I think what you're saying works in like 10 pages of a comic book and 20 minutes of a television show. But I don't think you can really do that experience in 2 hours. I feel like what works about Batman movies, what makes a Batman movie work, is Bruce Wayne changing as a character or Batman changing as a character, which is why they always are rebooting Batman and telling you his origin story. And those are the ones that are successful.
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing that, then you're going with iconic Batman, which all the growth and learning that character has done is just maxed out. At this point, I'm Bruce Wayne, I'm rich, I'm Batman, I kick ass. And then that character is just like, Batman's super flat. Batman is always going to kick ass. He's always going to figure this stuff out. No matter what the plot or the challenges are, the movie's going to be boring because you're just waiting for Batman to like figure it out.
Until he has to fight
I don't know
Superman.
if I'm phrasing that as well as I can, but I feel like Batman movies are more boring when there's not really a character journey for Batman to go on because Batman's so iconic. We already know all there is to know about Batman.
You know what I liked about the trailer though? And I don't know, maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but he takes off his cowl at one point and he has the black eye makeup underneath.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I was like, I appreciate, because obviously that's what's happening. And I appreciate that it's not like he's like clean and perfect. Like that alone was like, I like that. But again,
I liked everything I saw. I'm just kind of wondering what.
Yeah, I don't.
We got
is gonna
Catwoman
be
too. It almost seems like they're cramming too much in. It's like,
Oh, they do that.
this is a new movie and we already have 2 villains and Catwoman confirmed.
Is that all confirmed?
I saw Catwoman in the trailer.
Oftentimes in the
Catwoman's in
comics,
the
they
trailer.
would work together. Like Riddler would get Cobblepot, and they would all work together. Like Batman's
Yeah.
a story about like dealing with also criminality in the government. So it's like these people keep getting out because they're rich socialites, just like Batman is. Like Edward Enigma is like an Ivy School like genius. So is Edward Cobblepot. But they were like, they went down this other path, something tragic happened in their lives, like Batman, and rather than justice, they turned to criminality. So I think that's, if I had to guess based on what the Joker did, that's what it looks like the tone is going to be for the new Batman movie.
True.
I don't
But
know
we
how
can
I
never
did
say
not-
for sure because it happened in a comic. That's the way it's going to be in the movie. I mean, that's what a lot of people complain about with every comic book movie. What do they keep that's the same? What do they bring that's their own?
Yeah.
That's constantly a point of like contention with comic book movies. And you really can never, it's never a guarantee, what they did in the comic. Until you see the movie, you'll never know.
I love Batman the Animated Series.
I do too.
I love it to death.
Yeah.
But I think Mask of the Phantasm is not that great.
I didn't like it.
I agree with you.
I just
It's
watched
so
it.
weird.
I don't think
because
that's a good movie.
It's a super beloved thing, and I just think, this would have been a great 22-minute episode.
Yep.
I never
just
liked
don't
it.
think it's that great.
That movie came out before I was a movie snob. I think I was in 5th grade when that movie came out. I was prime time to love that movie, and I
Yeah.
still didn't like it. Loved Batman the Animated Series, saw that movie,
I
and
don't
I was
know
like,
what it is.
this is not good.
It's not engaging to me that entire.
Yeah, just
Run.
But I remember I just watched it and reviewed it, and Johnny was like, "Yeah, movie rules." I'm like, "I have bad news for you because I'm about to shit on this movie."
Yeah.
But
that's what we're coming from. Like, I think some people in the chat are like, "What are you talking about? Like, you have a one-off story like that. Like they did animated series movies from that. They did whatever." But I don't think any of us really cared for those.
No.
I think that's where we're
I
coming
don't think I like
from.
any
but that's just us.
Batman animated series movies.
I only saw that one. There's a Sub-Zero.
I've never
seen it. Yeah, Sub-Zero, right?
Sub-Zero,
There's a
yeah.
ton, dude.
I didn't see that.
Have any of you guys seen like the animated movies that they've made of graphic novels, like
Yeah.
Under the Red Hood and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I was just saying. I don't really like any of those.
Okay.
Now, I keep seeing a lot of rumors about this new Pattinson Batman having a lot of the Hush themes and maybe that storyline from the Hush graphic novel coming up in
okay.
this new movie. I don't know how much,
Dude, but the whole, man,
we're only seeing a trailer right now.
I love Batman. Let me just say, I love Batman. Y'all know, I love the comics.
You're like
I
the
love movies.
biggest Batman
Our
fan.
editing room has a ton of Batman shit in
Yeah.
it.
I think I agree with Rocco, though. It's just a question of, like, what more is there to say?
Well, what's going to be the hook? But if it has one, and I hear it's great, I'm definitely going to go see it.
Yeah.
Like the shit I saw in the trailer was cool. I don't know how the hell I missed there was Catwoman in the trailer.
Yeah.
Everyone said it's in the trailer. What did I watch that?
It doesn't look like Catwoman.
I never.
She
I
has
don't.
the little
I don't
pointy
retain
ears on her
anything with
hoodie.
Catwoman in it.
To bring it back to
a girl in a hoodie
the
with pointy
comics
ears.
recently, a few years ago, I already talked about this on past episode of this podcast, but there was a storyline for Batman called White Knight, where Joker basically cleans up his act and becomes a congressman in Gotham.
It's right there.
And then starts accusing Bruce Wayne and Batman of being like part of the problem, part of the billionaire 1%, and basically being like, this dude's a vigilante. He's going above the law. It was a really interesting story because it was, just a new take on Batman. Suddenly, Joker's the good guy on the city council and everybody's calling for Batman to retire. It's almost like a defund the police movement against Batman.
Yeah.
That idea was very fresh when that comic came out. And I feel like if they could do fresh ideas and interesting stuff like that, hell yeah, your movie's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but if they're afraid to do new stuff like that, the movie, there's just the threat of it being boring because we've seen, so even in the last 15 years, I think we get on average a Batman movie every 2 years.
Yeah.
So, they got to really start reaching for those kind of obscure ideas to make a satisfying movie.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for because I remember hearing stories for a while that there was a standalone Batman being written and they were just throwing it. Like they had all these big writers come in and all their stuff was getting thrown out because it was like, we don't care. Like just get the action in there and then it'll sell worldwide. That was when they had their old CEO. I don't know if things
make the suit
are
look
different
cool.
now, but I remember hearing that and just like, oh man, this is sad.
You know what's interesting? I want to talk about what Christopher Nolan did for Batman was awesome and also maybe the worst thing that could have ever happened to Batman.
Really?
Because Christopher Nolan made Batman Begins in 2005. The last Batman movie before that was the flop Batman and Robin, which came out in 1997. Almost a decade before.
Yeah.
So when Christopher Nolan showed up to do his Batman movie, expectations were as low as possible.
Yeah.
There had been almost a decade with no Batman movies,
Yeah.
and he had free reign to do whatever he wants. And he made not only that movie into a smash hit, he made a trilogy. He created the mold for everything Batman has tried to live up to ever since. And I feel like he came when expectations were so low and set them so fucking high.
Yeah.
And every movie since then has to follow that up. It will always be held to his trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's unfair. Like, it's almost an impossible situation because then CEOs get involved. Like, this has to be bigger than what Christopher Nolan did. And
You're not going to do it.
too many cooks in the kitchen. It's a no-win situation for a director.
Yeah, it's funny too because even Dark Knight Rises, the last one, like some people didn't care for it. Like it was kind of divisive, but that didn't change that. Like it still made it that like the new Batman has to be the biggest fucking thing ever. You know what I mean? Like it's still, regardless of what you thought of it, it still put it in that upper echelon. Like, oh my God, you know, how are we going to do? You know, how do you follow that up? It's tricky. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what is that hook going to be. But again, I liked what I saw in that trailer.
The trailer looks cool.
I didn't dislike anything, but
Costume looks cool.
Other DC
Batmobile
stuff,
looks
though.
cool.
And I need to give a disclaimer. Everything I've said, you know, I didn't see the trailer for this new movie. I said that right at the very beginning. So I'm just talking about kind of the Batman property in general.
Yeah.
I'm not really commenting on the Robert Pattinson movie. Ever since Robert Pattinson was announced as Bruce Wayne, I thought that was good casting.
Me too.
I actually really like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, me too.
Despite the whole Twilight cultural phenomenon how ironic, and universally hated Twilight was. I don't hold Robert
just
Pattinson
because of the genre.
to the fire for that for those
he's
films.
Been great and everything
I like
I've
him.
seen
He's got to
since
get
that.
paid. Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, seeing him as Bruce Wayne and Batman, I was like, yeah, this
I
makes
thought
sense.
he looked great.
He was good.
Yeah, I thought he looked awesome.
Also, it's weird. This is the first time that a Batman's been younger than us, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
that's
weird
true.
to think, if I played my cards right, I could have been Batman, but I fucking blew
It's
it.
too late now.
Now I'm doing a podcast talking about it. So
Why can't you be Batman?
I don't think I don't have what they're looking for.
I think I could.
As my
You
last
could
sentence
night-
just
I don't know. You sound like Bruce Wayne to me.
clearly demonstrated to you that
I
I
think I
can't
could do
speak
it.
very well.
I'm getting Batman vibes as we speak.
Why is Batman getting a migraine?
Yeah.
Batman gets migraines.
Alfred,
I
give me a
love,
Tylenol.
One of my favorite things that ever happened in Batman was when Frank Miller wrote Batman in the 80s before Frank Miller became a psycho bigot conservative. He would write Batman fighting all this crime, but then he goes back to the Batcave, takes all his armor off, and has to stitch up the knife wounds, has to pull out the bullets and pack it with gauze. You always saw Batman's not invincible. Like, this stuff hurts. This guy's putting him out there on the line every single night. I always loved that detail.
Yeah.
I hated that detail.
Did you read those Frank Miller Batmans?
No, I'm just no.
They're so good.
Just want to give a counterpoint.
They're so
Frank
good.
Miller, the guy he did Sin City and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He went nuts.
And
on
then
it?
he did this after 9/11. He wrote a Batman comic where Batman took on the Taliban, and DC's like, "We're not fucking releasing this. This thing is so psycho." And he's like, "I'll release it myself." And he changed it from Batman to some other, just standalone,
just
I
a
didn't
fucking
know
American
superhero.
I didn't
And
know
he
either.
Oh,
released-
that sounds great.
It's a book called
Wow.
Holy Terror, and
Osama?
I've never read it. I've heard the art is amazing, but the story is like, yo, this is like borderline racist shit.
Oh, well,
Like,
that's not okay. Well,
is Batman taking
I
on fucking Al
rescind
Qaeda?
my,
Holy Terror, look it up.
I was. What was I gonna say? Oh, but the other DC stuff at this thing.
Yeah.
I know, and I know there's going to be a million answers for this, but it drives me nuts. There's something I just don't get. I don't understand the Suicide Squad shit. I don't get it.
Harley Quinn, baby.
They did one movie, everyone hated it.
Margot Robbie.
All right, here's another movie.
Better.
We're gonna reboot it, kind of, not really. All right, and here's a new game. It looks like those characters in that movie you hated, and I don't get it. I
Wait, there's
don't
a
get
game?
it. They keep doing shit. I thought we hated it. Did we not hate it? Does everyone love it? I don't understand. I don't get it.
The Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
I
think
did
Derek
too.
said he liked it too.
I thought that movie was
Okay.
great. I honestly think that they're playing to multiple demographics, and that one doesn't catch you in its net. I think that's
But
for the younger, like hot topic. Honestly, like
Yes.
high school.
Yeah.
Bouncing off the wall, sugar high DC fan.
I just thought
You know.
no one liked it. I was under the impression everyone thought it was
Dude, no,
garbage. I wasn't even aware of any group being into it. But
Girls.
maybe I'm wrong.
You remember how many girls we saw before the fucking movie even came out dressed up
Yeah.
at con as Harley Quinn?
And then hated
with
the movie.
Daddy's little monster baseball bat.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
I
that.
think-
My
Regardless
My
of
chick
whether
loves
they
it
hate the
still.
movie or not, I think that DC likes that Harley Quinn and that aesthetic became like a cultural icon, and they're going to try to get it over again. You know? I think they're going to try to roll with it and get it over.
Was there more Suicide Squad stuff announced?
Yeah.
What
So
was
they
it?
showed stuff from the new movie
Okay.
that James Gunn is doing.
I'm
so they
there.
showed that. Couldn't pay me to see that.
Rocco,
and
I
then-
think I'm right there with you, and this is like a fascinating marketing move.
But I
think,
like, there's tons of shit. People keep telling me like, oh, well, you know, is the, but I see there's lots of things I don't like that other people love. I don't know anyone that liked that. Suicide Squad
I
movie.
think
I
you're
don't know
touching
anyone.
on something really interesting that's happening. The movie was panned,
Yeah.
but people liked the idea of it. They liked Harley Quinn. They liked
Yeah.
dressing like Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
They complained that he wasn't in the movie enough because they wanted him so much.
Yeah.
Maybe
Release the
Warner
Snyder
Brothers is saying, we're going to try this again, and we're going to try to give you what you wanted the first time.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just feeling like, fuck, we missed the mark, but people are still hungry enough. We're going to try it
guess so.
again. So yeah, they're making a sequel to a flop. And we'll
I don't,
see.
yeah, to me, if I saw something and it sucked shit, that'd be it. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Wow.
It's a total business move. It's not an artistic
Yeah.
move. It's a
business
money
move
grab.
for
Let's be
sure.
honest.
So that they showed stuff from that movie. It was like, okay, whatever. But then, dude, I've been waiting for so long to see what Rocksteady was going to do next. Yeah, they made Batman Arkham Asylum and
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, this new game. Yeah, yeah.
And then it's like, okay,
Arkham
we're
Knight?
finally debuting their new game, and it's Suicide Squad. It's like
You got they
5
gotcha.
year, 5 years. It's been 5 years since their last game. Waited all that time to see what they're working on next, and it's a Suicide Squad game coming out in 2022.
I didn't see that.
So it's going to be 7 years by that point. That
Damn.
like, it's like I got to wait 7 years to hear about whatever next thing you're going to do. Like now, I'm just like, man.
Was there anything good from this?
They showed.
was there anything good? I didn't see it.
I
so.
just they just real quick with this game. The premise is that you're the Suicide Squad and you have to kill Superman or something.
Okay.
Superman's evil.
Okay.
okay.
I was really hoping that you could just be Superman and he's good.
It just killed the Suicide Squad.
But yeah, that would
Flop
be
it.
great. I really, having not heard anything for years,
This is a
I
Rockstar
kept
game?
thinking like, man, my hope was honestly that they would do a legit like what they did, what was done for Spider-Man. Oh my God, do that for Superman. We've had no cool Superman stuff in how many years? Just an awesome Superman game where you're like a good dude trying to do good stuff for everybody. And it's open world and you're going around. And I was really hoping, man, maybe it'll be that. And no, it's Suicide Squad.
It seems-
Superman's bad. You have to kill him.
Now here's the thing. Beckett is all into DC.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about Marvel. He loves DC. He was so amped to watch this DC fandom yesterday. I
Yeah.
put up on the TV for him. I got him like drinks. Like, here you go, buddy. Enjoy. And then when it started, it's like, welcome to the 24-hour event. I was like, oh, I did not know it was so goddamn long.
Yeah.
Everything that he tells me about is Superman is the villain. He's always a villain now.
Yeah.
Because I think
And that's what
people
I'm saying.
realize
Yeah.
Superman doesn't work as a hero
Yeah.
because
God.
he's too powerful.
But you know, I hear
think
that,
that's-
and I
I think that's smart. My opinion. But I'll tell you why. But go ahead, Rocco.
I think that's lazy.
Okay.
You got to think outside the box. I think there have been a lot of boring stories with him. And so as an answer to that, they've done all this stuff to where like, oh, let's make him evil. Let's make him the reluctant martyr. Let's make him this. And I think, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we need to center back and think outside the box with like a really positive story. Like there's got to be something you could do with it.
Well, there is positive stuff happening with Superman. Before coronavirus hit, one of the latest Superman storylines was Superman versus the KKK. So they're still doing new, cool
Yeah.
Superman
There
wholesome
you
shit.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people find Superman boring because it's like,
Oh, sure, I get
dude.
it.
Nothing can defeat you. You're super great. You know,
Yeah,
he's
and-
flawless.
And like
so,
Beckett is super into the game's Injustice, and he was really hoping for the announcement for the third one, which no luck. But like he even reads, there's like, I don't know, he has like 10 of these thick ass graphic novels about Injustice, and Superman is the villain in this. But like he's just telling me like, yeah, they can't kill him with Superman. How do
Yeah,
you kill
that's
him?
interesting because
And that is
Superman,
interesting, yeah.
it flips your whole world. To make Superman interesting, you're going to have to give him a flaw. So your choices are you can either make him weaker, like take away his powers, or give him a character flaw. And the ultimate character flaw for Superman is he's not on your side.
Heel
Right,
turn.
that's a
Holy
problem.
shit.
That's a huge
Like,
problem.
Now I'm fucking worried about Superman like all the fucking time. So I think that's
Right.
an interesting
Even
move.
when that fucking dumbass movie Batman vs Superman is like, this isn't a movie because there's no comparison to this. Superman will easily kill
No,
Batman.
you
at the
just
end.
have to say his mom's name.
Yeah.
You have to say Martha
But
to him.
No.
I know what you're saying, Derek. I totally get that. The only thing is just I really just think like recently they've done that 70 times. Like they keep doing that now where let's flip it and let's have him be this unstoppable villain. And I just feel like someone's got to get creative and get people are talking about like, oh, you can't he used to be truth, justice, and the American way, and now you kind of can't do something that patriotic. There's a weird thing. There's a weird
yeah.
connection with that, and I just feel like there's your story. There's your story is that he is the old-fashioned Superman, and maybe that's weird now. Like I don't know. Like I think back to the George Reeves Superman in the old TV show and how corny he was.
Yeah.
That guy in our world today, yeah, maybe that doesn't work in every situation.
but
Maybe
you're
there's-
kind of
maybe-
suggesting making Superman the villain.
What's that?
You're kind of suggesting doing what
No,
they
I don't
did,
think so.
making
No.
him the villain.
No, it's like this guy. No, this guy. I think this guy is like really pure and is trying to do good, but
Yeah, but
maybe
you
it's
realize
about
the
learning-
American way is not so great for everybody out there.
Yeah, and he has to learn about that. Or, I think it can be more of a
He would have to
positive
come to
learning
terms.
thing rather than he's like the.
I can't put words in your mouth, but what I'm reading, what you're suggesting is Superman would have to come to terms with being the ultimate embodiment of America. Like,
Yeah.
I am the living embodiment of America.
Yeah.
But what does that mean? Because maybe America isn't perfect. Maybe I'm not perfect. Maybe America's fucked up. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm fucked up. Right? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're kind of suggesting the storyline would be?
I mean, it's just like I don't know, like learning about. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
It's hard. The costume's so fucking outdated too. It's just hard to make Superman cool.
Put him in jeans.
in
You remember
my
in the
But that's
90s
what
they
I
gave
mean.
him that
I
like
feel
squiggle
like-
of hair?
I feel like
Yeah, I like
make him
that.
square. Make him not make it.
That's part of the story. Yeah.
Embrace all of everything that's ever not worked about Superman, or that you look at now and go, "That's not working." Do it. And I just feel like that just makes it stand out that much more.
I legit think they've covered all this in the comic books for like years and years though.
yeah, maybe.
I think they really like more than once have covered everything we've discussed on this podcast. Like
Yeah, possibly.
they've done it all.
But the movies,
Superman's been around for
But
80
the
years.
movies are like he's fucking just mopey or a bad guy in the games. I just feel like
Yeah.
there has to be another way. That's just all they resort to now.
Well-
so if the comics have nailed it, maybe there's something there.
I'll ask
but-
my brother. He's still like his whole life. Superman has been his jam. He's always
Yeah.
loved Superman, and I always never got it. I never got it as a kid. I don't get it now.
I understand. I always liked Batman. Again,
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like a broken record. I find flawed characters interesting. So for me, Superman's boring because, like, what's wrong in Superman's life? But I've read Superman comics. To me, I like the story of, like, the loneliness that comes with being Superman.
Sure.
That nobody will ever
Yeah.
be on. Like, how could anybody share your life? I'm Superman. Like, I'm going to do shit. You're not going to understand the shit I have to do. You know, I can't die. You can. Like, I think that's where you get interest with Superman, kind of like the emotional toll. This dude landed in America. He wants to just be an American. He wants to be loved by everybody. It's like when you become rich and then when people become rich, they say like they no longer have friends, you know, because all their friends just see them as like money and rich. And that's kind of the thing with Superman, that, you know, he's lonely on the inside, the fortress of solitude.
Yeah.
You know, so there's some interesting stories there, if you ask me.
Yeah,
Now,
Superman's always been an interesting character, Derek, because I think you hit on a lot of it. Every other superhero is hiding who they have to be because they are a human and they're trying to fit in with everybody from that planet. He is not from Earth, and he can never be the same as anybody else here. Like, the cool things about Superman's stories is how he struggles to be human. You know, when he's flawed, when he suffers, when, even though he has strength and might and ability and all of this stuff, he still can't get the job done. And those are the cool comic books. Like, All-Star Superman is a really good one. If you haven't read, I think you've read Red Sun, the one where he lands in Russia.
In Russia, yeah.
I've never read that one, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
It's funny when Superman has to hold back, right? As a teenager, he is in a high school race, and he's like, well, I can't, like, win because that would be unfair.
Exactly.
You know.
He has to force himself to rein himself in so that he does it, because one flick could kill anybody. Like, that's why I think painting him as the villain is interesting, because I don't think a lot of people who don't read comics know his capacity and how much he pulls all of his punches. So it's just a really cool, like, I could see them doing cool things, but the moment you start stepping into that arena, people are like, no, I want cool Superman, I want badass Superman. And it's the same reason an Incredible Hulk movie doesn't work. Nobody can beat the Hulk.
True. I have to go, so I'm gonna take off.
Oh,
so
all right,
I know
see you,
it's a good
Sean.
conversation.
Well,
though.
let's. Why don't we just wrap it up? It's been a long show.
Okay. Well, I still need to leave probably now. So, thank you for watching, everyone.
We'll talk about Arkham
I'm
Knight
gonna say this
next
is
week.
top 10 Sean exit of
I'm
of
gonna
the year.
leave now. I'm gonna leave like this second, so I'm not gonna. Goodbye.
Bye. I guess. And it's been a fun week.
That was I Dream of Genie level.
Yeah.
You get to spread out.
Yeah, now you could say, and
Nice.
then I could.
What was going to happen at 8:30 if he was not
Turn into a
outta here
pumpkin?
that quick?
What the fuck?
Like, is he having a dentist appointment or something?
Here, I know you can hear.
Dennis?
He
Yeah,
has
Dennis.
a Sunday night
He's got a dentist appointment.
colonoscopy to get to.
When you brought up that game, I clearly was not aware that Rocksteady was making a Suicide Squad game. The only game info I saw was the Arkham Knight stuff,
Oh yeah, that was a different. Yeah.
and that got kind of revealed where you get to see some Supergirl and
Yeah.
what's Batwing what's the little boy's name?
You play as Nightwing,
Nightwing.
Red
Nightwing.
Hood, Batwoman, and
And those
Robin.
look pretty sick. Like, if you're a fan of those Arkham games, I've never played them, but it seemed like this was exciting having 4 characters to choose from now.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if it's like an online game or I didn't really.
Did you play the second or third Arkham games, or just the first one?
I played them all.
Oh, you played them all?
I played them all except for Origins, but I just got Origins on Steam. For
And
like
this is by the
$6.
makers of Origins.
And honestly, so
Oh.
far it's like, this is great. I love Origins. Why did everybody complain about this game? Oh, because it came out a year after the other one, and everybody was like,
And it was a different developer. It's like no one wanted to give it a try.
You know,
Yeah.
I liked that first Arkham game. I loved it, actually. I didn't really get into Arkham City.
Yeah.
So I didn't play
liked
anything
it.
beyond that. Does anything touch that first one, or is that the best one in your guys' opinion?
The first one is like a kind of a linear adventure. Like, you know, you're in.
I'll tell you what I really liked about it. I
Yeah.
loved going into detective mode. I felt like
Yeah.
I was solving detectives, being a real crime solver. And I loved scaring the guys and being Batman and kind of like the hero that the villains feared.
Yeah.
The open world game I felt was less detection, and I just I like the first one better.
I just felt like the first one was a more concise, like it was like Batman the Animated Series. Like, here's the story, and you are Batman in this story that's been written.
Yeah.
And I thought Arkham City was cool because it was like, well, hell, I'm Batman. I'm flying around the city now looking
Yeah.
for. So I liked that. I did enjoy that they were different. If you're asking me what my favorite is, I'm thinking the first one because again, it was concise. It was a concise, good Batman story.
I beat that first one beginning to end.
Yeah,
and I kind of gave up on Arkham City.
and not a bloated thing. But I still really did enjoy Arkham City too.
I may have beaten it. I don't even remember.
But then the one that followed that was Arkham Knight.
I did not play that
Origins
one.
was a side thing.
Okay.
Arkham Knight was the next one by Rocksteady, and that I felt like it was visually really good, but I was like spent at that point. I was
Okay.
like, yeah, and they wanted me to do stuff with the Batmobile. I was kind of getting tired of that, and it was just like, I'm good.
Oh, we played that one on Friend Dimension a little bit.
Yes.
That's the only portion of that game I've played.
Where I was like stuck in one area.
Yeah, we were stuck in the sewer for like half hour.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It was like I'm good. I not that it was the worst.
Okay,
game or
and
anything,
so
but
then
I was
Origins
just fine.
came out after that, right?
Origins was before Arkham Knight.
Oh, okay.
In between games, a different developer put out.
How weird.
How does that one rank?
I mean,
Okay.
not really. It was like a prequel to all of them, and it was I don't know.
Oh, Origins was a prequel. You don't say, huh?
Yeah,
You figure out where Batman came from.
yeah. It was. I just remember people were kind of like, it's fine.
Yeah, so really, I guess that first one is the must play then.
But a lot of people would argue that Arkham City is the best one.
Really?
Because
Some
it
some
expanded.
people love exploring the city and doing all that, and I get that. That was fun. But I like it. Just depends on what you're more into. I like the concise thing. I like the first one the most. But I did enjoy City.
I remember playing Arkham City. I talked about this when the game came out, but you could be Catwoman in that game, but it like really hurt my self-esteem.
Yeah.
Everywhere I went, people kept calling me a bitch, and it just like I didn't want to. Oh God, Batman's here, guys! Watch out, Batman's here! Yeah, Batman's here, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that bitch Catwoman. Let's fucking beat her ass.
Well, it
what
was
the
all-
fuck? Like I'm
it's-
the fucking hero of this story.
The dialogue would shift. Yeah, you play as Batman, they're terrified. It was all kind of vaguely sexual when you'd play. You'd become Catwoman, and it's like, hey, come over here, you little bitch. Hey,
Whoa.
let's see what you got under your cat suit, you
No,
little minx.
it was a legit moment where I was like,
Yeah.
women have it fucking rough, dude.
Seriously.
This shit ain't fun.
I remember
This shit ain't fun anymore.
I wasn't
Arkham
very.
City
I wasn't.
taught you patriarchy.
I wasn't very aware of that stuff when it was 2010 or whenever the hell the Arkham City came out. But I remember we literally talked about that when Derek and I both beat the game or whatever, and
Yeah.
it was just like I feel bad for girls, man. It was like how was
Dude,
this our takeaway from
it
Arkham?
was just
Arkham City?
psychologically demoralizing
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
called a bitch everywhere I went.
Yeah.
Nobody was afraid of me. They all hated me because I was a bitch.
People online-
I was fucking up their crime.
Listen,
the bitch.
All these people online who don't get it, they would share that video of the girl getting catcalled in New York and thought that would make a difference. No, play Arkham City
That's-
Catwoman mode. That's what got through to me. I was like, wow, women
Yeah.
have it tough, man.
It was really like unnerving because like you said, I thought the writing for that was so good because it was all of this stuff like, I'll show you what I'm gonna do to Catwoman. It's like, hey, like,
What are you going to do to her?
no, you
that
can't
mean?
be this way. Like, no,
Well,
this is probably
And
how it is
so
for
they
women all the
did
time.
release
Fuck.
they released Respect Women DLC. And
Yeah.
when that patch came, it was much better.
You are Catwoman. So they're saying that, and I'm just like, well, that's me.
Yeah.
I liked it better when you guys were afraid of me. felt more
Yeah,
empowering.
I don't know. It was just weird. Yeah, it was like, it was a totally different dynamic.
That's enough said.
A different
I would
dynamic.
still be afraid of Catwoman. I wouldn't.
No, she got claws.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get hurt.
I legit loved Catwoman so much when I was a kid. Tim Burton's Batman Returns came
Oh,
out.
so
I thought
good.
Catwoman was the coolest character in that movie. So as a little kid, I was like 7 years old, and on playground, I'd play Batman. Everybody would argue to be Batman. I'd be like, fucking be Batman. I want to be Catwoman. And people would make fun of me.
That's
Ugh,
good.
you want to be Catwoman? So I, in my 7-year-old brain, invented a character. I'm Catwoman's son. Catboy. I'm exactly like Catwoman, but I'm a boy.
That's awesome.
That way I could
And
be Catwoman without being made fun of.
you remember the Aquabats too. That's cool.
They have a Catboy song?
No, there was a guy named Catboy in the band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There was a Catboy was an Aquabat.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I actually would never call myself Catboy.
Oh.
I was specifically Catwoman's son. So, there was a whole like
Who's your
backstory
dad?
there that I never came up with as a child.
Yeah, did you have a
Who
father?
knocked up Catwoman?
Yeah.
It wasn't Batman, I'll tell you that. Because I'm hanging out with Batman and I ain't calling him dad. So, just some guy, Catwoman's high school crush, her ex. The fucking bum.
Yeah, I always liked the Penguin from Batman Returns when I was a kid because he like lived in the sewer and stuff. I just always thought like cool shit is in the sewer.
That's where the turtles live.
Yeah, that's
so,
that's everything.
Penguin hangs
Everything
out
cool
there.
originated from there. So when I saw that in the movie, I was like, "Oh, dude, we got Penguin's awesome. He's another sewer mutant." That was what I was into.
That's weird. Our generation as kids, I honestly spent a lot of time with my head hanging down in like a drainage fucking opening.
Yeah, me too.
Looking for fucking Goombas, looking for Splinter and the turtles.
All the cool stuff came from the sewer.
Everything
Yeah.
cool was in the fucking sewer.
Yeah.
You're right. I was.
Yeah.
Yes, Super Mario and I was always like fucking around trying to lift manholes with my friends.
Were the biker mice from Mars in the sewer? I thought they were. I don't know. I thought they just had regular homes.
Sewer sharks?
know.
No, those are street sharks.
Street sharks. So I think they still were in the sewer somewhere.
Yeah, it's close.
Who else was in the sewer?
It
That
the clown.
It the clown.
I loved it. No,
The Goonies. The Goonies were in the sewer.
true. The Goonies went in the sewer. All the
Goonies
cool
were
shit was down there.
Sewer surfing. Who else? Indiana Jones. Oh,
It's probably why I got good immune system. I got exposed to so much sewer waste
yeah, that's good.
as a kid.
Well, guys, I gotta go.
oh,
No, I mean literally right now.
No, we can end this, but I'm leaving.
No, I need literally. I had a hard out 20 minutes ago. If you're recording this, I needed it to not be recording 20 minutes ago. I needed to be in my bed tucked in 20 plus minutes ago. So if you were recording, you shouldn't have been recording. I'm on, but I shouldn't be.